Konami going first.
Yeah, no, this is the kind of big deciding factor here is the decks that they brought. Which archetype have they decided to rock out with? It's 40 cards from Team Germany, and I think that's a nice 40-card consistent EXO match, potentially.
I'm pretty sure for them, both lists
were they always
40.
playing 40?
I'm
okay.
pretty sure for the UK it's
We're on
10.
41, though.
I think you said in the... I remember you saying in the very
Specifically,
first round...
41 was branded, yeah.
No, 42 was branded.
Oh, was it?
I think you said
on
42.
UK? Okay, all right. Well, it could be Snake Eye.
Maybe I'm misremembering. I mean, I guess that makes the suspense even higher, but...
They're thinking really hard here. Maybe we can get a quick German audio really quick to get our coverage on the way here for this matchup. If we could listen into the table here and see what they're discussing for their opening plays. It is German Exo Sisters.
They went through all the calculations. They went through the calculations to activate Martha.
And I don't think any of those actually considered Maxi. It was always going to be dropped here, but I don't know. Maybe some prior. No, it doesn't look like it. That's
we don't
unfortunate.
Have a way to deal with that, Maxi.
Yeah, especially if we had like Shifter, you would probably just immediately use that at the start of your turn. I don't know. We need to see some special stuff here. I mean, what do you really end on to play through Maxi? Is it just Michaelis get and set?
It's probably that. Yeah. I mean, you could just. Can you leave these on the field, or does Martha like make them go away? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's really funny that you don't know the specifics of your teammate's deck in that regard.
Well, listen.
Yeah, special summon, and then no, they stay. Yeah.
I don't think I've summoned an Exo Sister Martha in my life.
Wow, not even in testing.
No.
All right. Well, you left that job to Emery, of course.
Yeah, he's the expert.
Clearly, he didn't have a game plan specifically for Maxi. It looks like though.
I mean, we have to give them 2 cards here, and we are going to be searching a trap card still to end on.
Yeah, I mean, the trap we search here, I guess, could... Ooh, that's really nice.
Yeah, so now it's essentially... We've drawn 2 with the Maxi.
It's really sad because we do get to just replace our hand, and we also have a way to stop
we still have
Michaelis.
the 5 card. We're on 5 cards, and the Michaelis has been stopped, so...
It's like, what do you have left here at this point, right? We need to have hard drawn some...
That's
some good
what they're hoping for, right? Is we would already want cards like Returnia or Vadis in our hand.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. We can counter Maxi as well. That's always an option. But if Team UK is playing something like Branded, I mean, doesn't hurt that much compared to other decks at least. So we'll see if they've been nice and confident to bring that other pick here. That's a Pax though. That's not too bad.
It's like this hand would have played through a lot of stuff.
Except
outside
Maxi.
Of, yeah, exactly that. Like you know,
Ash, Imperm, Veil, like it was pretty stacked on extenders, but that's the one that's pretty rough. Is multiple special summons.
Normal? Yeah.
Okay, we're hearing the Exo Sister Master at work.
Which follow-up do we have done? I mean, this kind of equals follow-up.
I wanted to check if they have Maxi or not. Not Maxi, Ash. Yeah.
So we go for this.
Emery's nod of approval on the Exo Sister search.
The packs can search trap cards. It doesn't come up very
just
often, but it's good here.
Okay.
This is normal. This is a normal, so it would be 2 more special summon.
I would know. Don't.
Oh, they got. You know what they have?
The Spirit?
They have the Spirit. Yeah, they were thinking about it.
Yeah, they were thinking about going Sakitama into Magnifica, I believe, there. So we're just going to end on an Ellis, which will trigger if a card is moved, which is forced out by the Returnia, right? Or is that Vadis?
This does not work the way it does. I was about to say... Like, you cannot trigger Ellis with your own cards. Ellis is your opponent needs to do it.
Okay. Ooh, counter Maxi. Now, does the UK have a response? Draw phase.
Is Called by the Grave. Ash. Oh, I was about to say Called by the Grave doesn't work because that would trigger Ellis.
Do we have our own Called by? I think we would have used it on our own turn. Nothing to stop Ash.
I mean, this
here.
is the trap card they added. Most likely.
Yeah, there's just nothing else they can respond with here. That is a really fortunate opening by the Team UK there to get 3 disruptions. And also Engine here with the Bellstar added off a Wanted.
I mean, I'm going to list you a couple of cards and you tell me how good that hand is. Maxi and Impermanence and Ash Blossom and a Wanted.
Now this is not live.
Yeah, it doesn't get better than that.
That's a lot of good Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Start off, yeah.
Alright, and we can hear from their thought process right now.
I think we're...
Never mind.
Never mind, we're back here. All right, so, you know, I don't think there's really ways to play around per se, right? Like, you just start your combo against a deck like Exosister, you know? I don't think there's any, like, special lines you need to take.
I mean, yeah, the Returnia is a relatively straightforward sort of card. You just, like, it's a banish at any point. And you need to make sure you do not play into this Ellis unnecessarily, right? Like, if you use the Flamberge revive effect in an awkward spot, maybe you're giving them
Too much advantage
the
there.
free rank up. You don't want to give that out for nothing. It's a relatively easy card to just attack over. I don't think maybe they can win the game on this turn. I don't know if that should be their focus though.
Oh yeah, definitely not, right? Like sometimes I find that players can be very hesitant to use their battle phase, right?
Yeah.
Just out of kind of just like greed, I suppose. But I think
It's a
against
very important form of removal, essentially.
yeah, especially against a deck like Exosister, right? You don't really, I don't really think the deck has like as much follow up as your deck does. So it's usually kind of fine to try and bait out the battle phase and then just pick apart what's remaining from there.
I mean, people really like winning the game on the spot and trying to find those lines that put up 8,000 damage
course.
immediately. But it's often enough also just fine to just be able to clear their field, move on to main phase 2, make sure you establish
what's the conditions
field
for
on
it
your
to-
own and just...
Just
so
some
if we-
damage.
Feels like something that
if we
people
move
used to
a
do a
card
lot
to
against
Graveyard
Dragon
or
Link as
something.
well, right? Like they would end on a Heretic Seal and just try and be too clever.
I'd
when
rather get the two
it really
monsters out
can
of
just
this
be a
then, I
case of
guess.
simply going to the battle phase to
Yeah,
deal with it.
Exactly, yeah.
We just go this and Witch.
All right, we have
Okay.
some more discussions here. Choosing to send Witch for the original Sin.
And that is them getting rid of one monster that
Just
could
got the setup.
potentially run over the others or threaten the others, and they just say no, we don't need to do that. I assume that means they won't use their battle phase immediately. However, the Poplar, does Poplar leaving the graveyard trigger the Exosisters? I'm pretty sure it does, right? Because it's just
I think
placing.
it just has to moves a card out of
Yeah.
either grave.
Okay, yeah, then it does. Okay, well, that's dangerous territory. I wonder if it's just Poplar, summon it in attack position, and then move to the battle phase.
I think it has to be, right?
Because
I mean,
with I understand why they weren't doing it with just the Diabell Star, because then you just get in battle phase, they can banish it with Returnia, and then you can't clear the Ellis.
yeah, but like
With 2 monsters now,
this just guarantees that you can clear it, unless you're doing anything with Michaelis.
and this is
But-
important news. UK is playing 2 original Sinful Spoil Snake Eye, so they have another target for the Poplar here, which is good. I think you might want to get rid of this Ellis now.
Again, we haven't really seen any fancy XE plays coming out from the Snake Eye decks. They've all just been kind of focused on synchros or links. Yeah, I guess it's maybe people just aren't finding the extra deck space for XE monsters.
It's tough because it's not just one, right? In order to get maximum value from it, you need the rank 1, you need the Zeus. You would ideally also want the Downerd Magician in your deck. And that's like 3 slots for 1 option, essentially, is tough.
Yeah. I suppose you could look at it in some ways, like trading out like first turn utility with synchros versus second turn utility versus XEs.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be possible to do both Jet Synchron and the Xyz in the same deck. You could maybe like take out the Jet Synchron and replace it with some utility cards like that. I think doing both is pretty rough. And there we go. We see the battle phase being used as a form of removing this Ellis. It's funny how this little 500 Exosister is just forcing the battle phase out of the Snake Eye deck at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, just the Ellis being able to go up into something like the Dweller essentially would be really, really strong.
Yeah. And they do have Returnia, which is banish 1. However, that will not save the Ellis, unfortunately, because there's 2 monsters that are bigger than it.
Do we know the last card in hand for Germany?
I don't believe so, no.
No.
I think that's an unknown card. Unfortunately, we can rule out Maxi because that's already been used and hit with an Ash Blossom. Which is another frustrating thing for Germany, right? Because it's like, you use that Maxi there and you're like, okay, the only card that they can use to stop it that really hurts is Ash Blossom or Crossout, but like Called by the Grave specifically isn't that good for them because I have this Ellis that would trigger off of it. And then you get hit by that one out that actually does work.
Yeah, sometimes it really is just a case of you better have it.
Mm.
And like that's literally the situation they put them in. So
And
it is what it
better
is.
have it.
There is, I mean, you know, you can't play around everything. That's really what it comes down to.
Yep.
There's a big think on this Ashe declaration, by the way, like a really huge consideration there. And we do finally see the Returnia come down.
And this is where I wanted to mention earlier a small difference in Germany's first turn that ends up being huge here. They summoned Martha, summoned another level 4, and then they made Michaelis immediately, and then left their normal summon just sitting on the board. Whereas what they could have done is they could have normal summoned before making an Exceed, and they could have left Martha on the field instead. And
What's the advantage of leaving
the
Martha
difference
over
is
Ellis?
that Martha is the
Just
only
bigger.
it's the only Exo-Sister that you can trigger yourself.
Right, I see.
Because all the other Exo-Sisters say if your opponent moves a card out of the graveyard. Martha says if a card leaves the graveyard.
Yeah.
So like you can trigger it yourself.
Emre, what have you done?
Also, Martha is bigger, which would have enabled them, like, if they go battle phase to attack the Martha, you can just banish the temple, and then they're not big enough anymore.
Yeah, that's actually huge when they wouldn't even get to redeclare.
It's a very small and subtle thing, but it might make all the difference in this game, unironically. Like,
Yeah,
it's a massive difference at the moment.
It was actually huge there, yeah. We do have a follow-up, though. That's a big 1-for-1 coming down.
That's a
Discarding
massive
Nibiru. They must have drawn that for turn, by the way.
They were not able to use it last turn.
Didn't we hit 5?
No, it was Martha, the one that Martha summoned, Michaelis, and the normal summon. It's 4.
4. Okay. Sweet spot. Great number there. But we do have Oak to bring back the banished Ashe, and that's really good because it's back into circulation here.
I mean, at this point, for Team Germany, it needs to be something like, it needs to be a miracle. Like, it needs to be like a Nibiru in hand, and even that might not even be enough because they have the temple.
A Nibiru in hand into a Marfa, and
yeah, and that's
might
the
still
thing.
not
Like,
do
we
it.
don't even have another card in hand. So, like, even if we somehow stop them from making a huge field, we still need to draw into a play.
Yeah.
And that needs to be specifically Martha. I guess Aratama could work. Oh, we probably know it's Aratama. Because they thought about it last turn. We listened into their...
Yeah. And they told us specifically it would be 2 more summons, so just not worth it under Maxi.
Oh.
Flamberge gets to place Michaelis, I suppose.
I wonder if that's true, actually. I wonder if it's really not worth it.
Oh yeah, 2 draws.
2 draws, but Magnifica represents two removals as well.
That's true, actually.
But you get to decide what you remove, right? Like, because they're like the Snake Eye deck has a lot of like once per turn kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If you just remove key components off the field, there's only so much they can draw, right? There's not that many extenders.
I guess in hindsight they shouldn't feel too bad because they had Nibiru, so.
True. Yeah,
Well,
that's fair. That's
Unless
a
it
good
was
point.
exactly.
That's a good point. They didn't mention it in that moment. That is probably in their minds at that point. It's like yeah, okay. 2 draws for 2 more disruptions might be worth it, but it's also playing into Nibiru, which we've perfectly played around so far. So yeah, maybe that's the.
Which you could argue might be worth it, right? Because I mean, just Michaelis passed. That I don't think that was ever going to be enough, right?
I mean, it was Michaelis, Ellis, and a Returnia, with a Maxi in hand as well.
That's true.
Like,
yeah, they did have a lot, admittedly.
It was like they got hit with a pretty good hand as well from UK that they couldn't necessarily predict was all there.
Sunlight Wolf in this zone is odd, but I guess we can send this Link Rebo.
You can also just link off the Link Karibo into another Link monster over there. So, and this is where, once again, the fact that they had Ash Blossom is massive once more, because that means you can add it back here with the Sunlight Wolf, meaning that you even cover for Team Germany's follow-up here.
Yeah, so regardless of what
There it
happens,
is.
like the next turn is just dealt with, basically. I mean, there's not anything I can think that Exorcista can do on 2 cards through an Ash.
Exosister is not the kind of deck to get out of these situations with just 2 cards. Like, Exosister is the type of deck that needs to stop this from happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there are some decks that can handle this, maybe, but Exosister is not one of them. Exosister is the type of deck where your goal from the get-go when you're building your deck has to be, like, stopping this sort of stuff from happening, because you don't have the means to solve it. And because the Michaelis is in the spell and trap zone, it's funny, like, not even something like a Miracle evenly matched could happen, because it's just not able to be used at the moment.
It's all about prevention with decks like this. And looks like we're making an Ambler Whale here.
And Ambler Whale Flamberge
Not too bad. And
should be more than enough with a Princess in the graveyard and Ash Blossom in hand. I don't think they need to worry about anything here, to be honest with you.
Well, no scooping here. We are going to play it out to the best of our ability.
Yep.
So
I'm gonna try. And I mean, Aratama represents one line of play already, if that's really what they have in their hand. It's just a read-on based on what they were talking about. But the, I mean, like, maybe a Martha off the top that gets the Ash Blossom out of the opponent, and then we normal summon the Spirit, or we just set and pass.
is there a great set and pass here? Like
No.
a Vadis, a Returnio?
Not enough.
Just doesn't do
Returnia
anything.
doesn't do anything. Vadis just summons 2 from the deck, but that's not going to be... Unless Team UK plays into it, like, massively. Like, just, I don't know, activate Monster Reborn or something like that.
Yeah.
They get to chain Vadis. So.
Does work on the Flamberge effect in the grave. So I mean, if they try go for that, that's always possible.
I
but
mean, it's
very
already...
specific.
Like, they're down to 5,100. I don't think they have to get super creative. That is the least creative they could have gotten by just clicking Battle Phase.
All right.
Or something goes terribly wrong.
62
forfeit.
damage on field here.
Oh.
And it looks like it's connecting. Team UK takes down game number 1 of this grand final here between themselves and Germany.
Going second as well.
That was going second.
Pretty
yeah.
impressive. Pretty impressive. A little bit of help from the little insect, but...
Just a bit. Just a bit.
Just a little bit. Just
But
a
yeah,
little
no,
bit.
we saw that this is so much of the deck building where it comes down, right? Those defensive cards are,
Yeah.
you know, a key
It
part of the
is
first turn.
one of the key advantages of Snake Eye specifically. I mean, every deck usually is using Maxi, but like the Snake Eye deck really has the means to pair it up with all the cards you would want. Like, you know, the room for the impermanences, the Ash Blossoms, even the Nibiru and the Phantasmes that we've seen out of list. It's all in there. And that's only possible because the Snake Eye deck can function so well with just a couple cards. Like, it doesn't need to be, you don't need to draw fancy 3-4 card combos with that deck. It's just 1 to 2 cards, you're good to go. The rest of your hand can be anything you want it to be. And UK sitting at 5-0 in this tournament so far.
Yeah, yeah, they have not dropped the game. That's a pretty positive spot to be in. I mean, we'll see if that pays off because Germany is going to have to reverse sweep now.
They
if
have to win the next 2 in order to have a chance. UK
In a
is
row.
1 win away from being the... if they win the next one, they're the undefeated second anniversary invitational champions, which is quite something, especially for Revs cards, who's like also our last year's champion. There has never not been a Revs cards invitational winner. If they take this down, there's never been a Master Duel invitational in Europe that has not been won by Revs cards. If he wins this one, which is kind of funny.
So for the 3rd anniversary next year, we'll have to like just you know, by default like not invite him.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's
they have
like
to,
that's
in
the
order
plan.
to keep it fair for everyone.
Yeah,
We just do
that
not
chance needs to be given to the rest of these nations here. But yeah, obviously a lot of heavy lifting being done by Jessica. Obviously, you know, such a great player in her own right here, reigning European champion.
Yep.
Showing that she isn't just like a one-trick pony playing only plants. Plants are viable and good in Master Duel to an extent, right? And just
Extent.
showing some
Extent.
showing proficiency in Snake Eye as well, right?
Yep.
So
Also beating a German in the finals, by the way, at Euros. Kind of like her thing, apparently.
it's just our thing. All right, our duelists are ready for game number 2 here, and this is where some of this mind games can come into play here.
Yep.
Let's head on over to the table right now and see if we've mixed up some of these matchups.
In terms of the mind games, though, that's the only small victory that Germany got. Because I said earlier, like, when UK is queuing their Snake Eye deck, they want to hit the other Snake Eye deck. They want to hit the mirror match. And Exosister needs to be afraid of Branded more than Snake Eye, I think.
Yeah.
They managed to get the matchup they wanted, but that doesn't mean you're winning it. You're not getting the win for free.
Okay, we're just gonna run it
It is
back.
a true M-rate differential at this point. The Martha gets Ash. That's not as bad as it getting Maxied, I would say, because there's a lot of cards that Exosister can have to still make something happen here.
Yeah.
As long as your opponent doesn't get those excessive amounts of cards from a Maxi, I think Exosister is okay. Like, we need, like, there's a couple of level 4 Exosisters that let you get multiple level 4s onto the field. You can have an Aratama, you can have a Sakitama to put an extra level 4 onto the field. There's plenty of cards that they can have here. I'm assuming they have something because they haven't just passed the turn.
And I think that the UK is playing Snake Eye, right? Because they were on.
Is it 41 again?
It's 41 again.
I'm pretty sure this Branded was 42.
Yeah, so it might be another repeat matchup here, and it's interesting that Germany chose to go first and had the win and still opted to go with Exosister.
I mean, they did see how the UK had like such a good Snake Eye deck for going second though, right? With the Phantasmes and all that.
Yeah, maybe just trying to shut down those Phantasmes and other mirror-specific tech cards to just play the Exosisters. And we do have
Sophia Ellis.
Some plays.
Is Sophia the one that lets you draw? Yes, you just draw a card, which is nice. With the Sophia here, putting you back up to 4 cards. We know one of those is a Martha that can't be used this turn anymore. The Sophia and Ellis, the problem is if your Martha gets negated by an Ash Blossom, you don't have the ways, you don't have the means to put up 2 rank 4s unless something really weird happens. For the most part, I'm predicting this is just going to be a Michaelis grabbing a trap card, and then we're going to see some amount of sets and then a pass.
Some amount of sets indeed.
Ideally at least 2, because if they have, it's so much more threatening if they have both Exosister trap cards, not just one of them.
I think this would be much more appreciated as well if we have some hand traps to back this up as well. Ooh, Ash Imperm.
UK is
pretty good at doing that.
Is pretty good at drawing pretty good hands.
That's why they are undefeated. Are we going to see...
Yeah.
Are we going to see a 6-0 sweep into a victory here? Remember, this is the grand final here. They are 1 up, and that's a pass on Michaelis with no set cards.
All right, I'm gonna need some. We're gonna need some help here from the cards in our hand, Team Germany. Come on, put up a fight.
Yeah, please. Don't make it too easy for us. Ash Imperm. Do we also have the other Ash?
They don't seem too worried yet. I'm looking at their faces. They don't seem too disappointed at the moment.
Yeah, I think they might feel a little bit confident with. Something like a Maxi would be a huge preventative measure.
I mean, it's got negated so often today. Surely it's going to resolve once. It has to resolve one time, surely.
That's just how the math works out.
They play Phantasme, they play...
Let's play some audio for you.
Stuff to also play Talons, I think.
Oh, there's a Bellstar coming down on Jet Synchron discard. Good. That's probably a perfect discard. Or one of the better ones here. And you could hear Lampy just there, who was recounting some of their cards.
That can keep on in hand as a discard for Jet.
So yeah, Team UK discussing their discards. Alright, well, Sinful Spoil is fetched from the deck here. That's going to give you some amount of follow-up. They do have Ash.
So I think even if they max us, we push. Just push for game.
I think we just go for it.
I think we just push for game.
Alright, they have committed and they have announced it for all of us to
yeah,
listen to.
They haven't even gotten max seed yet, but they said if we get max seed, we are pushing.
Yeah, no, that is a brave declaration from Team UK here as we activate the Poplar. This is it. Do we have a response? Team Germany has...
They do not have
What do they have?
They do not have
it. Nibiru? That's it?
I'm disappointed by Emra's drawing skills, I'm going to be honest with you. I've seen him do better than that.
Now we play round Nib anyway.
Tokyo Emery wouldn't let that get to this
Worlds has changed them.
Or rather, Europe has changed them. Alright, well, we've got that Divine Temple set up here. The original sin has been set from the Bellstar.
I'm very skeptical of this.
Poplar has activated the hand effect to special summon. We did not respond on Team Germany's side. I mean, what do we have in hand? Just a bunch of Exosisters? None of this has been stopped.
We know it's a Martha. We didn't set anything, so there's no called by, no imperms.
I mean, an Ash?
More normal summons? Maybe a Nibiru is like the best thing you can hope for.
Activate Ash to send itself, and then you Ash would probably be decent.
Decent, but not enough, I don't think.
Definitely not.
You already have the Sinful Spoil and the Flam version, the Spell and Trap Zone.
We got this was that.
Yep.
And
the problem is even something high impact like in the Nibiru right now
just triggers the field spell.
The field spell, because we have like that's what's so good about the Snake Eye deck when it opens access to Snake Eye Ash and Diabellstar already. Like the fact that you get to have this Sinful Spoil original Snake Eye spell and the Temple just makes it so if you play it properly,
there's nothing you're afraid of.
Yeah, and they also had the Jet Synchron earlier, which is also huge because it lets them go into something like Borlord Savage to force something like the Nibiru early. And then just bring out the Flamberge from Temple and...
Would you Ash the Ash?
They have Ash.
What's he gonna summon? Oak?
Probably Flamberge. I
Yeah,
think that
so-
alone... Is that a long game? It's 3k, 55, 70... No, it's not. Not game just yet. It's game with Jet Synchron coming back there. Oh. That's very good first.
What's our
because I
fire in the grave?
didn't expect them to make that.
Okay, they just want a
They-
Link monster in the grave
They
to
want
force
a
out
link.
Savage.
Yeah, they want a link monster in the graveyard to be able to make Savage.
Yep, that's
Force
fair.
They can do
You're
better, Savage now.
True.
We should have Ash that. About that.
The thing is,
I'm
Emre
getting-
pointing out
not
saying
the-
that they should have ashed before, but at the same time, like, I guess you'd have to have the foresight that the Jet Synchron would be used specifically for a Savage play, and on top of that, this is a little better in some extent because it forces them into this awkward path.
I am getting the awkward feeling that there's only an Ash Blossom in their hand, and I think like they're going over. It's always good to reevaluate what you did and what you maybe could have done better, but I think this is an issue of if they only have Ash, this was not winnable from the get-go.
I think
That's the thing,
Because
right?
if you Ash their Snake Eye Ash on normal summon, like they already have the original
think the
Sinful
Bell's
Swell
more
spell card. They
impactful
already
because
have
they don't
Jet
think about
Synchron
it.
in the graveyard. Like
It
the
just doesn't
Flamberge
do
is in the spell and
anything.
trap zone. If it's just Ash, that's not enough. No matter where you use it. In this
gonna
point.
negate it.
Yeah, that's
And
something
the
to recognize
Bell
as well
is
by
doing
some
more
players
after he played all
who
of his cards than
might be a little bit
problem
less
here
experienced and
This is a
reevaluating
funny
your
spot.
gameplay.
This is
Yeah.
a very
Yeah,
funny
because now
spot.
you've given them like an
No.
Ash for the
No,
heat.
no,
Random
they have to
agents
let it
if
go
it-
through because if they use Savage here, they run into Nib.
That's true, but like you're fine with that
Yeah.
because now Hita just brings back that Ash that you initially didn't have a target for,
Yeah,
and then
that's
that makes Princess, and Princess brings back, and you just have like basically full setup. Okay, that's good, right?
It's the same situation though. They could decide to use Savage. If they don't use Savage here though, they have to.
They risk, yeah. Yeah, so this is a big thing on Savage here because if they don't,
That's such an interesting discussion because they know one of the cards in hand is Martha. So the gamble is
Last
just,
card
is
is
the last card
Nibiru.
Nibiru or is it
Yeah.
another monster?
they do indeed Savage negate the
And
bell
this
here.
this is on the one hand risky. On the other hand, that is the opening that Germany might need if it is Nibiru.
All right, Hita Resolution, special summon from the grave, the Ash Blossom. I think you have to use it here. You don't want that Princess in rotation.
I mean, you also you don't want to use it here. I don't think.
No?
Because if you use it here, you give them a token, and the Flamberge hops out of the spell and trap zone because of the temple.
And then they link anyway. Well, okay, so by that logic, there isn't a good place to Nibiru anymore. Sure.
It's tough if they play it right with the temple.
Yeah, like that's there's just nowhere good
I
to
mean,
Nibiru
there's
anymore.
no.
Assuming it is Nibiru, which I don't think it is. Just
I don't
based
think
on
they
their
have it.
discussion.
I don't think they have it. But like, is there a There is no Flamberge in the graveyard.
From
perhaps-
UK side?
Yeah.
No, there isn't.
Have they tagged out with Ash yet?
The tag effect? Yeah, they haven't used. Oh, no, they haven't actually.
They haven't. They haven't.
Okay.
Okay, that's massive then.
So what do they do? Do we send Flamberge here?
No, they just
Send Poplar, bring
summon,
out the
they summon
Flamberge,
Flamberge
make a
and push
full-
the Michaelis into the back row and attack for 8,000. And they have they still have that's 8,000.
This is actually just so sad. We just didn't have. Oh, wow. This was really well played as well. I mean, dodging the all the hand disruption here. We've got 87 on the field here. We've pushed through end of main. No Nibiru. Attack for game with Savage Dragon. And the UK goes undefeated, not dropping a single game. Both in best of 3 and for the entire event.
Yeah.
6-0.
6-0. Pretty blessed in these games, to be fair. Open 2 hand traps plus ways to start the game.
Here comes
plus
the
ways to win.
excuses from Germany. Here they go.
All right, so I'm going to see myself out. I'm going to just let you talk.
This was really impressive, honestly. Yeah, so we've finally gotten to see the Snake Eye deck perform at the competitive level in Macedon, and all of these players, I think, definitely put on a great display.
Yeah.
We've seen world champions play through this tournament. We've seen counter picks. We've seen counter picks. But in the end,
Exosister.
the Exosister just not quite making it in the final, right?
Team Germany with quite the ride, like starting 0-2 with Snake Eyes, then
And then
bringing it all
believing
back with
almost.
Exosister. and then bringing it twice in the finals and just losing twice going first. So.
Do you think they made a mistake in hindsight playing EXO for both of the final games? Was there
I don't. No, I don't. I wouldn't say so. I think
No.
I think the Exo Sister deck was decent against the Phantasme Snake Eye version. I mean, we haven't seen the UK open the Phantasme a single time in both of these games. We saw their entire hand both times. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like had they brought Snake Eye to game 1, they would have done like a lot better into Maxi, Impermanence, Ash Blossom on their own Maxi, and so on and so forth. But yeah, the UK played it flawlessly, I believe, in this final. I don't remember them making a mistake, and they take it home 2-0 with
No
the
noticeable missteps. Yeah.
Snake Eye strategy, and we're gonna hear it from Ed and Team UK, the winners of our 2nd anniversary Master Duel Invitational.
Take it away, Ed, for one last time.
Thank you very much, Fafa. Yes, that is the final has been decided. Team UK have taken it, but this is a friendly event, and obviously we have some ceremony to go through. So please welcome to the stage Team Germany, our 2nd place, I almost said winners, our 2nd place victors here at the Invitational. Guys, you played amazingly, especially when you swapped up the deck halfway through, started steamrolling. Didn't quite pay off for you in the final, but do you feel that you put in a good effort regardless?
We just stuck to the call at that point. We're changing over to Exo Sisters, so we were like, okay, from now on in the finals, it's only going to be Exo Sisters. Didn't work out for the finals, but still, I think it was worth changing the deck in the end.
Did you enjoy yourself? I know it's no World Championships, but did you still have fun, Emre?
I really had fun. After losing both two, I was kind of like upset. But yeah, what I learned from this is to never give up.
Never give up. That's a great thing for all of you to take away from this. Guys, congratulations on 2nd place for the Invitational. You do both have a trophy, so I'm going to invite Ibriz over, my co-host for this month in Master Duel. Tune in next month. But Ibriz, do you have anything to say to our wonderful competitors?
Just congratulations for 2nd place at the 2nd anniversary Invitational.
Yeah, it's kind of apt, isn't it? 2nd for 2nd. Well done, guys. 1 trophy for you, and we have a 2nd trophy coming over as well for both of you. Congratulations. Rounds of applause for Team Germany taking that 2nd place. Congratulations, guys. I will let you guys come and stand over on this side next to Ibriz, because there's one winner. Well, technically there's 2 winners, but both of them are champions in their own right. And also, one of them has taken it for 2 years in a row. Please welcome the winners of the 2nd anniversary Master Duel Invitational, Team UK, Revs Cards and Jessica Robinson! Guys, congratulations. I'll come to you in a moment because we'll have much to discuss, but Jess, you're no stranger to topping these kind of events. You've already won the Euros, and now you've beaten Europeans at Master Duel. 2 different formats, TCG and now digital. How do you feel?
Elated.
Simple, short and efficient. That's what we like. You had an amazing duel in that last one. You guys took it a 2-0 sweep. Were you pretty confident the whole time? Were there moments where you felt on the rocks, or?
I was a little bit scared of just hand traps in Nibiru because it just felt like something was coming, but luckily we were safe.
Yeah, you managed to get around things like Ghost Spell and everything with your Savage Dragon, so you guys really managed to nail it. And Revs, your 2nd time winning this in a row. We might have to stop inviting you just because someone else needs a chance, Rev. But congratulations, you did amazing. How does it feel twice in a row?
We just keep coming back.
Just keep going back. And also, the thing is, I mocked you before we came into the final, saying you had the nerve, nay, the cheek, to say you'd be undefeated, but you remained undefeated throughout the whole thing. That must feel pretty amazing.
Yeah, it feels great. It feels great. Thanks.
Well, speaking of feeling great, here's a trophy that will feel great in your hands and on your mantelpiece. That wasn't my best segue, but Ibriz, please do hand over our wonderful thing to the champions.
Yeah, 2 years of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel and 2 titles for Revs Cards and a title for Jess.
Congratulations to both of you. Here is your trophy, and also the 2nd trophy for both of you. So guys, give it up one more time for the winners of the 2nd anniversary Invitational, Revs Cards and Jessica Robinson! Team UK have taken the win, and that is going to be the end of our coverage here at the 2nd anniversary Invitational. But this has been so much fun. Thank you so much to all of you for watching at home, but also thank you so much to all of you who have downloaded and played Master Duel, because it's such a wonderful digital title for us to have, and we love that you guys are all a part of it. Make sure that you guys take part in some Challenger Cups that some of our amazing content creators will be hosting very soon. Tune into This Month in Master Duel for more monthly updates about Master Duel. And of course, hopefully, we'll see you again at another Invitational. But one more time, give it up for your second and first place winners of the second anniversary Invitational for Master Duel! Thank you very much, duelists. We will see you next time.